Most of our lives are lived within the themes of Holy Saturday. On Holy Week, we gather to remember Jesus' death on a Friday, celebrate his resurrection on a Sunday. But most of life is actually lived having to navigate that in-between space between reality and expectation. The disciples, they leave everything to follow Jesus. They leave their family, a familiar life, but something about Jesus and his message of a new kingdom inspires them to forsake everything and follow Jesus with certain expectations of what that would result in for their lives. And so when Jesus is crucified, those desires and expectations have to die along with him. Many of us, we set out on a path, whether it's to follow Jesus or to follow a prescribed path for our own success. Buy a home, they said. Get married and have kids, they said. Go and get a high-paying job, they said. Nobody tells you that your house is going to have a constant leak in the roof and mold on the side. Nobody tells you that getting married and having children will require a ton of sacrifice for what you imagined for your life. Nobody tells you that your job will be filled with all kinds of strange characters and all kinds of pivots that you need to make for your life. So what do we do as followers of Jesus when our imagination for our lives get disrupted? The scriptures give us the witness of Nicodemus and Joseph, who after Jesus' death tend to Jesus' literal dead body. Even in the presence of deferred hope, they tend to Jesus. And then they wait as they bury him. What does that look like for us to tend to Jesus in the face of disruption and disappointment? I think Thomas Merton puts it best. In his prayer, he writes, "Just because I think I'm following your will, it doesn't mean that I am." Sometimes we set out to follow Jesus and to be in the center of God's will, but really what's operating is our own ego and our own desires for a particular outcome. And so to name, just because I think I'm following your will, it doesn't mean that I am, is such a beautiful string of words to name the presence of ego in our attempts at faithfulness to God. And then his prayer goes on to say, "But I believe that the desire to please you does in fact please you." In the presence of hope deferred, when life is not what we imagine, when there is a disparity between expectation and reality, what we are invited to do is surrender our obsession with certain outcomes and to place that obsession on the intentions that we carry as we show up in every arena of our lives, whether that's work, home, or taking care of your house or any relationship. When expectations are disrupted, can we still show up with the desire to please God? That's my prayer for myself and for you as we often find ourselves within the themes of having to navigate the differences between reality and expectation. May our intentions be pure as we wait for resurrection.